everyone, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Collective Tarot for the full moon in Gemini. This full moon is happening on December 15th. I highly suggest you check out Pam Gregory and Heather Ensworth's videos on this full moon in Gemini. They're going to go into a lot more detail. I'm going to brush on it just a little bit, along with some of the other transits that are happening on the same day. Also, too, if this does end up resonating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot. And thank you to all my subscribers. First things first, you might have noticed I do not have December readings up. At the end of November, middle of November, my daughter got pneumonia. She was sick for a little bit. Then I ended up getting it after she was better. And it just became something that I just needed to rest. So listen to my body. I'm not sure if and also for you, always listen to your body, okay? If you need to rest. You can always still be utilizing your mind to focus on the things you want, even when your body is saying it's time to rest, okay? One thing though, I might not do December readings. I might just jump ahead to do January 2025, do some like overlooks for everybody, because at the time I'm recording this, it's already December 10th. So we'll see. I'll let you know. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I do want to talk a little bit about the astrology just briefly. But again, go look at Pam Gregory, Heather Ensworth. I know specifically 23 degrees Gemini is very important. So if you have any planets at 23 degrees Gemini, and see what house 23 degrees Gemini is in, okay? Because that's going to be where you're going to be really feeling the impact of this full moon. Now, along with this full moon in Gemini, we have Mercury going direct in Sagittarius, and I am so very excited about this. For those who have felt the weight of this shift, it is, remember, Pluto, heavy, slow-moving, powerful, okay? Transformative. That can be very, very, very energetically, mentally, physically heavy, all right? And so we should all be feeling our vitality a little bit more. Another thing too, I want to point out, Saturn and Pisces. So remember, Saturn went direct in Pisces on November 15th. And for me too, for instance, that Saturn direct in Pisces, which is in my 5th house of creativity and children, that's when my daughter got sick, okay? And so there's just something here to really understanding like that the taskmaster, the encouraging, challenging planet Saturn is here to help us continue to work hard, but have compassion for ourselves and compassion for others, okay? So with that direct, we're finally going to be having Mercury direct in Sagittarius. I'm very excited for this because that's going to be really wonderful energy for us, all right? Now, this influence is going to help us move forward, okay? And this is another thing. I want you to circle back to the new moon in Sagittarius reading that I did for the beginning of December, end of November, beginning of December, because this Mercury direct in Sagittarius is really asking us to allow that inner arrow to guide us, all right, into the new direction. Where are we traveling? What direction are you traveling in? Because that's where you need to be focusing and shifting your energy to, okay? Because there's a lot going on in the collective. I mean, anywhere you look in the world, a lot going on with the influence of Pluto and Aquarius, okay? And so we now want to get back to the focus of what we personally want, what we collectively want, and keep our eye on that, all right? Honestly, if you have the ability to take up archery, that would be amazing. And really focus like your dreams into that arrow, and shoot it. So here's another thing that's happening around the same time. Right before that, December 7th, we have Neptune going direct in Pisces, okay? So that's already happened. But this is where we're going back into the reality, like our dreams, and bringing it back into reality. And so we really need to focus on compassion. And so this is where I think this is why the culmination of this with this full moon is going to be so exciting, because so much of this separateness is coming back into completion. Now remember, Gemini, the twins, the duality, the yin and the yang, okay? We all have both the light and the shadow within us. And this full moon in Gemini is the last full moon of 2024, okay? It's going to be a great one for problem solving. So while we're having this Mercury direct, optimistic, Sagittarian energy, that we are going to be feeling that optimism, and along with that optimism, be finding ways to clear what needs to be cleared, okay? It's a great time for clarity, for ending situations, full moons, culminations, right? And then this is where it's like this moving on to brighter things, okay? And so I think a lot of this clarity, again, is coming from the recognition of duality in all of us, all right? So now I'm going to go quickly to what came through while I was clearing the cards, prepping for this. Okay, so first thing, karmic relationships and the duality of male and female, all right? And so again, what I'm saying is there's this culmination of the understanding that we all have both in us, the yin and the yang, the feminine, the masculine, the duality, the separateness. Now we're coming back into this. Okay. So like there's been a lot of this, the scales off balance. And now it's like, the magnets like being attracted back to each other. And it's interesting too. I don't know where this is going to come about, but a lot related to magnetism and magnetic energy. So do pay attention to that. If we start to see something with this Pluto and Aquarian energy of magnetism, I don't know why, but that just keeps popping in my head, and like magnets and that little, like the game with the little burly guy where you can move his hair around. There's something to that imagery and technological advancement that I feel is coming forward. But back to what I was talking about. Can you also tell I have a lot of Gemini placements? So that's another thing. If you do have strong Gemini placements, that Gemini energy is probably going to be coming out a lot more. And so again, the chattiness, the thoughts, make sure that you're utilizing the optimistic energy of laser focusing, not getting, bogged down in the drama, in the gossip. Obviously be aware of what's happening. Just don't fixate too much. Okay. Like fixate on your dreams, fixate on where you're going, fixate on your goals, because that's the energy you want to be giving right now. Okay. So back to the cards that came through. Taking action on your interests. Okay. So that is a perfect segue. The next thing that came up was making sure that you are taking action on the things that fascinate you. All right. So that is something too, like even with the idea of the magnets and the drawing together and some like advancement, I could go down a rabbit hole of finding something related to that. Okay. So there's just something here to whatever has been piquing your interest, whatever that Mercury direct in Sagittarius of this, like this drive forward in a specific direction, like go on it. Okay. Go on it and make sure that you are laser focused on where you're going. All right. Another thing that came through, which is wonderful, is advocacy and compassion and action. Okay. So this is important because we are seeing a lot of what people are calling like class consciousness, collective consciousness, right? We're seeing a great awakening. However, with that great awakening, we have to remember that like the energy of Pluto and Capricorn, it doesn't just disappear. It's still here, right? It's just that shift now, the mass collective energy is in the shift of Pluto and Aquarius. And so we are seeing some yanking back, if you will, still, some pullback. And so why it's so important for us to make sure that whatever it is that we advocate for, whatever it is that we believe in, whatever that Mercury and Sagittarius is asking us to express, that we make sure that it's with compassion and action, okay? Now, the other thing that popped up, which is not a surprise, the Lover's card, which is ruled by Gemini, a major arcana ruled by Gemini. And this is the joining of separateness, okay? It's enjoying the contrast and the differences of ourselves, of those we love, of the collective, okay, of interests. There's just something here to recognizing we're all pieces of the puzzle. All right. And so that's something that I think we're really going to be seeing highlighted is a lot of people who have been very separate, who have been putting themselves in little boxes, recognizing that these boxes are keeping us away from each other. Okay. Now, another thing, stay grounded. Gemini, air. We have Pluto and Aquarius. Air. Okay. So all of this power is coming from a very heightened energy. And so we have to make sure we can do what we can to stay grounded. If you can get out in nature, get out in nature. All right. If you can do some, meditations, yoga, whatever it is that you do to stay grounded, you have to find ways to make sure that you are grounded in reality. Okay. And not reality in the concept of what you perceived it as, but just in the reality of your thoughts, okay? Like grounding your thoughts, actually. That's actually a better way of putting this is how can you ground your thoughts? So like if you do like have a lot of air placements and those thoughts kind of just trail to places that you don't want them to. That's actually something. Oh, EDMR, that's a wonderful thing. Tapping, like the butterfly tapping. That's a wonderful way to redirect your thoughts back into a grounded state. And so not necessarily grounding your feet planted, but it's so much more on focusing on grounding your thoughts and your communication. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Not just your communication with others, but also your communication with yourself, okay? All right, and then the other thing that spiritual guidance, which is wonderful. I think that's a lot of that influence of the Mercury in Sagittarius. All right, again, going direct, it's just going to feel, and wonderful that it's like during the holiday season with this energy of unity. I really think that this influence is going to help drive forward what we want collectively for our future, okay? And, last but not least, Judgment popped up, Major Arcana, Pluto, okay? Answer the wake-up call. This is what I'm just so excited for, this energy, because this is liberation, renewal, rebirth, right? Answering your wake-up call. And also a reminder to not judge, not lest ye be judged, okay? So that is very, very important, is for us not to get into the nitpicking of others, so much as shifting our focus into what we want to focus on, okay? And it's not saying like if people are doing things that aren't right, not saying that not to say it. It's just more so that we need to, again, ground our vision, ground our thoughts, ground our communication into what we want more of, okay? This is a time to focus on expansion. This is a time to utilize the renewed energy that we're getting for this new year to take action. Okay, so I am so excited to see what we got going on. I should have been shuffling this whole time. But I was, again, had to stay very grounded with my thoughts because I tend to trail. Yeah, that's getting stuck in our heads, okay? If there's one thing that we can work on right now, it's that analysis paralysis, getting stuck in our heads, and just making sure that shadow energy, Capricorn, what did I say? Pluto and Capricorn influence is still here, okay? How we respond to it, how we wake up and liberate ourselves from our shadow. Okay, so that is important. That shadow aspect, remember, our shadow is a part of who we are. It's never going to go away. But how can we embrace it to the point where it doesn't need to, its influence doesn't need to take over, if you will, okay? This is a lot related to the light, so much related to the light, so much related to what we are working towards, what we are building, again, not just personally, but collectively. But do be prepared, though, for, like, some things to come. Yeah, like there is a lot of secrets that are going to be coming out, okay? This is intuition seen below the surface. I think a lot of us collectively, too, with this moon, we're recognizing that we all are, like, connecting dots individually, but seeing it collectively, okay? A lot of dots are being collected. There is a lot related to secrets coming out. And this isn't, again, just in your personal situation, but in the collective, on a global scale. But in your energy, again, like wherever this full moon is probably where you personally are going to be seeing, like a secret revealed, or, something, said about you that you didn't know was said. And whatever it is, though, it's about releasing you from something. All right, it's releasing you from something that has been holding you back. And so if there is a release, if there is an ending, because full moons can indicate culminations and endings, recognize that it is setting you free. It's liberating you. Okay, liberation is a very, very important message that we are all getting at this time, okay? And standing up for what we believe in, okay? This is Gemini energy too, okay? Stand up for what you believe in. So again, the more of us that can personally utilize this energy, the more power the collective has. So let's see what we got going on for the full moon in Gemini on December 15th, 2024. Yeah, keeping your vibration high and focusing on where you're going with this Pluto energy is so important, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to get bogged down into the distractions. Okay, there's a lot of distractions out there, right? And it's like I said, being knowledgeable and understanding what's going on without getting sucked into it, I guess, is a really important aspect. Wow, that's a big one. Okay, so big endings. Collective, so that's a very, on a personal energetic energy. Oh my gosh. So, okay, so I was watching somebody and they had something very similar with Cancer energy. I can't remember who it was. Okay, so what I want to say about this, this is where a lot of these beliefs, this is the overall energy for the full moon in Gemini. We collectively are really letting go of thought patterns, of beliefs, okay, that are holding us back. And on a collective level with Pluto and Aquarius, that could really be the power that we individually, collectively have, okay, right? Like that belief that we have no power, there's nothing we can, a lot of that could be the difficult thing. But what is so exciting about this, especially with this being the overall energy and seeing the Chariot as what the outcome is, something difficult coming to an end. Quit overdoing it, quit struggling, quit allowing your shadow energy to keep you stuck in a cycle that is not good for you. All right. A lot of people are going to be having epiphanies for this full moon, and you will be having an epiphany in some area of your life. Like I said, it might be specific to the house where 23 degrees Gemini is. So please take a look at that. A fresh start is coming, and this fresh start, like it's powerful, it's fast moving. And so here's where, this is another thing we have to remember, all of us personally, is like, especially if you've been like slowly working on something, right? And we're still stuck in that instant gratification, and there's just, it feels like nothing's working, nothing's happening. But you just keep working on it, just like a little bit here and there, and you don't even recognize the fact that it's been snowballing, because you're seeing it as just like this, like, like linear instead of like this circular buildup, if you will. And so this might even come to a surprise, or come as a surprise for the rapid change that's happening. So again, this is collective tarot, and so I do think a lot of us who are shifting our consciousness, a lot of us who are shifting our beliefs, our thoughts, where we're focusing our thoughts, this powerful momentum we're going to see in the collective, it's going to be very fast moving. And what I love too is the Chariot driven Cancer energy, feminine energy, right? Nurturing mother energy. This to me is saying we're going to be seeing a lot of shifts of what we are expecting with the rise of the like divine feminine power. Okay. And remember, the important thing too is it's not about divine feminine power, taking over. It's about bringing back the scales of balance, right? The duality. Look at the duality, the light and the shadow working together. Okay, so yeah, overall energy, Sun in Gemini, 10 of Swords. This is I'm just so very, very excited for this reading, guys. Okay, so what we need more of, Ace of Cups, all right? Replenishing. A lot of this is on our personal energy, okay? So individually, we all need to make sure that we are prioritizing our emotions, that we are prioritizing our well-being. We're prioritizing what we're putting into our bodies, okay? Not just the food and water we drink, but the media we consume. There's a lot related to renewal. This fresh start is so big, and just strong renewal energy. This is also something too where the energy of this is Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. And so it does feel like this has been a slow build, if you will, to a reset button. Okay. And like, I mean, me personally, that reset button, getting pneumonia, being knocked out, for days, like there's just a lot here to making sure that this isn't something we just allow when we have time, but this has to be like a new routine where we make sure that we are cleansing ourselves, if you will, and cleansing ourselves at the end of the day of what we're, like I said, what we're consuming, making sure we're going to bed with focus, that laser focus of what we want. Now, what we have the right amount of, the devil. Okay, so this is what I find interesting. Because the devil in this deck, the big message is understanding the nature of appearances. And so this is what I find so fascinating, is because we have the collective shadow, right? That Pluto and Capricorn collective shadow energy that we've experienced. We have our personal shadows. And it's like our personal shadow knows the BS because our personal shadow knows how to utilize the BS to keep us, you know what I mean? And so there's this idea of, I'm getting this energy of so many people have been personally working on their shadow energy to incorporate their shadow, to embrace their shadow, right? That we're seeing the manipulation, the collective energy of, we're seeing people's BS, okay, collectively. And that's the thing that is so fascinating. The other thing too here is, again, understanding like the denial of what you want because you're told you, like, you know, shame, guilt, fear, the things that your shadow uses, not just your personal, but the collective energy of a shadow of shaming, you know, for wanting while other people enjoy these things. And like this idea of who deserves what. There's just a very strong message that we collectively, the majority of us, have a recognition of this shadow energy and seeing it for what it is. And that is so very important to this aspect of surrendering to the power of Pluto and Aquarius, honestly. All right, what we need less of, the Fool. Okay, so here's collectively, we could have some very impulsive energy. So I got to go back. Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto is so slow moving. It's not saying this change is going to be rapid. What we're seeing is going to be rapid, but how we take action, we do want to be very, very mindful of. Okay, because the Fool is all about spontaneity, you know, that like literally foolish energy sometimes, right? And so in this energy, this idea of abandoning everything and just, okay, so it's like, to me, it's like the counterculture of the hippies who, you know, just like went into like major, you know, like finding themselves and, you know, the focus is just on the, like the rebellion to like the nth degree. And there's something here to, that grounded energy that's needed. There's also this impulsive energy of like, we want change so strongly and powerful. We just have to be mindful of how we do it. And, this could also too, like, because there are endings coming, we might want to hurry it up, rush it, right? Like we get like some good news and then like we take action too quickly. Okay. So there's just something here to very being mindful. We do have some strong Uranus energy coming in too in January. So that's something where it's like, just be very mindful of how we collectively choose to take action and not to do it in a way that that the collective, you know, shadow wins, if you will. Okay, well, this is what is very, very cool, is seeing an Ace of Wands and a Page of Wands in these areas. So much of this is for us personally, working on our personal things, okay, to raise that collective vibration. There's so much inspiration. There's so much creativity coming at this time. Whatever you are passionate about, this is the time to do it. So please, please, please take time to work on what you're passionate about. It is so very important at this time. I am just checking that Neptune or Uranus is not, no, it's not. Okay. Nope, that's next month. All right. So what we can change, Ace of Wands, all right? If you are feeling a lack of motivation, of direction, of inspiration, this is something you can change, all right? Individually, you can change this. And then, like I said, when we individually change this, we change the collective. So this is going back to what we saw in the beginning of where we're focusing our energy, where we are focusing our thoughts, where we focus our communication. That is the key, all right? So if you're feeling drained, if you're feeling like there's not that spark, how we are choosing to replenish ourselves is the key to this inspiration, to this confidence, to this opportunity. All right. It takes you taking that. Oh my gosh, look at it. It takes you taking that wand in your hand. And so what you need to accept, Page of Wands, this is your inner child, all right? Exploring the things that fuel your inner flame. What you need to accept is that you are in control of spending time doing this. If you're, okay, and this is me calling myself up, you know, catching up on your favorite reality shows, binging something instead of utilizing that time to explore the things that ignite your inner flame. You have to accept that you are the one in control and responsible for that, okay? But like I said, seeing this and then at the end of this full moon, the Chariot, big momentum, big change, seizing the day. Like I said, like the hairs on my arm are standing up because so much fire too, Sagittarius fire energy. The biggest impact to me with this is that we have this full moon when we have Mercury and Sagittarius, Mercury going direct in Sagittarius on the same day. That is just this culmination of Gemini communication, Sagittarius inspiration, and it's just like a spark, right? And big momentum. Okay, so this is probably gonna be a longer reading because I have been sick. Let's see what past life energy is affecting the collective for this full moon. Biggest thing too with that Chariot, like I said, the idea, the concept of power, divine feminine power, and that divine feminine power being grounded in the duality of the light and the dark, okay? The recognition and the understanding that we need both. Baby, okay, so again, there's this idea of nurturing, birthing. Collectively, I think we're really starting to recognize where our priorities are, right? There's actually a Muse song, Newborn. That's a, listen to that song if you can, okay? It's very motivating too, if you're looking for inspiration. All right. The situation you're inquiring about involves an infant on some level. Your unconscious mind will reveal the way in which babies play a role in your current life. You may have already received the answer in the form of a thought or a feeling. Trust this information as your unconscious mind will slowly and gently help you remember and release painful memories. At first, you may think you're imagining this information, but as you put together more pieces of the puzzle through signs and additional recollections, you'll feel confident in claiming your past lifetime. This card can speak to you about a baby in this life or a previous life. There may have been a trauma that you suffered as a baby or that involved a baby of yours in that lifetime. It also may describe parenthood in this or previous lives. Your feelings and thoughts will guide you so you can discern the specific meaning. So collectively, like I said, I do think that we are shifting because we're shifting back to the feminine, maternalistic. We're getting back to the focus of nurturing and what it takes to, again, not just like a physical baby, but like nurturing our creativity, nurturing our dreams. You know, like there's so much related to nurturing that I think the shift, the big momentum is coming to this realization of enough is enough, okay? So let's get an empowering question for the collective to focus on during the full moon in Gemini. What empowering question can we focus on? Oh, lovely. The empowering question for us to focus on during this full moon: how do I show love to myself? How do I show love to others? Because again, going back to the beginning of that compassion in action, nurturing, baby, like there's so much here to very powerful spiritual love and compassion and connectedness again. All right, so what archetypal energy are we going to be seeing in the collective for the full moon in Gemini? All right. So, hold on. Okay, we got two here. Ooh. And they're both blue. Okay. The Thief and the Rescuer. Now, this is fascinating because I definitely can see this energy already. So let's start with the Thief, all right? Light attributes: sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. shadow attributes, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Light attributes sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And shadow attributes, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. And I'm going back to this shadow energy of this idea of allowing other power, other influence take away from your personal power. Because again, this individual personal power, we're now recognizing the power of it collective, right? When we all focus that, consciousness, like group consciousness to one specific thing, how it creates big change. And rescuer, light attributes, provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. That's an important one with those messages that came through in the beginning. Shadow attributes assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. Okay, so again, light and dark on both of these. I do think in the collective, we're going to be seeing a lot of this shadow energy. All right. So do pay attention to that. Okay. So let's get some dragon energy here. All right. What dragon energy will help the collective for the full moon in Gemini? Way too many cards. Of course, Gemini energy would do that. All right. One dragon card for the full moon in Gemini. Black dragon. Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Yep. So be very, very mindful of protecting your energy at this time. Like I said, a lot of that is related to the power and influence we give to what we consume. And consume, like I said, on a media level. Oh, I love this. So the crystal energy we can utilize, pearl, purity. I love this because, again, it's going back to that, the baby, the child, like talk about purity, baby, okay? The innocence of a baby, of a child, okay? And it doesn't have that conditioning. There's just a lot related to how can we utilize that, okay? I do get, like I said, I get a lot of renewal, refreshing clarity. I mean, look, we can even see the full moon here in the background, okay? So unbelievably exciting. Okay, so now we're going to do sign by sign, and then we're going to close this out. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Do hit that like button and subscribe, and let's go sign by sign. All right, what do Aries need to hear? Wow, oh, Aries. Okay, now this makes a lot of sense for you too, because with Chiron going direct at the end of the month, that is what first popped in my head. Major collective influence, Aries. Okay, like congratulations. The world, completion, success, synchronicity, fulfillment, the wheel of fortune, right? Luck on your side, destiny. Please do everything you can to utilize this full moon energy to laser focus on your biggest dreams. Dream big. Do not let anything deter you from focusing on what it is you're manifesting, because that's like powerful. Okay, Taurus, Ace of Wands. Taurus, I think that you being an earth sign, you might be getting bogged down and lost in the heaviness, okay? So I really want you to be mindful of the where you're focusing your energy, how much time you're focusing on certain things, and how can you utilize your energy to get that spark of inspiration. It's in your hand. You can take it at any time, okay? So if you're lacking any direction, motivation, inspiration, really ask yourself, where are you utilizing your energy, okay? All right, Geminis, what do we got for Geminis? Of course, you get 2 cards. King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. Congratulations. Geminis, this to me says, if anything's been holding you back from what it is that emotionally fulfills you, financially, materialistically fulfills you, there's this sense of it's paying off, and it's paying off big. It's the both. It's the having the material and the emotional, all right? Because both of those things you deserve. You deserve the duality. It's also this idea, though, too, hard work and delayed gratification, power of patience, it pays off, and it pays off big. We also have this Taurus energy here. So this could be related to love as well. But I'm getting more that this is a sense of your like financial security and how that is bringing some emotional this is something you deserve too. This is this idea of like, yeah, I did that. That's the message that's really coming through, is this culmination is coming to, yeah, I did that and I deserve this. So congratulations. All right, Cancers. What do Cancers need to hear? Ooh, Two of Pentacles. Cancers, busy, busy, busy. Seeing that Chariot at the end too, big momentum, big change. That involves being really busy. Okay, so ride that wave of change though, because this is a time where the things that you are building, the multitasking you're doing, it's building big. And so don't lose sight of what you're building. And if you're feeling tired, how can you change around your schedule to incorporate more time for rest, incorporate more time, for taking walks out in nature to like boost your energy. There's just something here to making sure that you have the stamina to continue, because this is something where when you can balance this energy and you can go with the flow, it's going to expand very big. Okay. All right. Leos, what do Leos need to hear? Oh, Leos, this is so lovely. Okay. 6 of Cups. A lot related to your childhood. Okay, so this is something too, though, that's interesting. So because there are like, big culminations and endings, there's a message here related to what emotional fulfillment you felt like you were lacking as a child. Like that, there's a big message here to this understanding of what that means, how we get it, how we got it, how we didn't get it. You're gonna have a lot related to some major thoughts and possibly communication related to your childhood and what you think was lacking, or what you you're gonna get. This is the thing, it's gonna be all over the place. You're gonna see the lack, you're gonna see the comfort. You're like, it's almost like it's gonna be a little confusing for you. But what I want you to remember is that you are the one who gets to reward that inner child, okay? And so this is where there's a strong connection to letting go of something from childhood, okay? Something here that we really need to release in order to move on into this new age without the baggage of something that our inner child felt like it was lacking, okay? So whatever you can do to focus on letting go of some narrative related to childhood, it's going to be profound, okay? Like major emotional release. Because remember, cups are our emotions, and so you really need to pay attention to that and shed something, okay? Shed, release. All right, Virgos. Oh, Page of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, of course, Virgos. Virgos, you're really focusing your attention on your finances, on stability, making sure that you're grounded. But this Page of Cups coming out here is reminding you, don't forget about that Pisces duality within you, all right? Enjoying the simple pleasures and allowing yourself to just let that inner child enjoy itself, okay? This is the duality for you, is that Virgo-ness with the Pisces energy, okay? You really, this has been your Saturn lesson a lot, incorporating that shadow energy that you might fear, and there's not something to fear there. It's just about the balance of it, okay? Yeah, don't get too bogged down and allow that emotional excitement to come in, okay? All right, Libras. What do Libras need to hear? All right, Libras, a lot related to the people in your lives. And Libras, this is something, King of Wands, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Knight of Pentacles, something that is growing financially. It can also be somebody who is coming in like with a partnership idea, okay? But whatever it is you're growing, I'm getting so much of how important your attention is, okay? How much your focus and your attention is to this, because This is energy that's just going out there, okay? Knights are very impulsive, right? And the kings, obviously, they're like they've made it, if you will, okay? Don't hold back on putting everything into whatever it is you're growing. That's the message I'm really getting here. Do not hold back on what it is you're growing, because you are accumulating a lot if you can laser focus that energy, all right? Okay, and especially any limiting beliefs, all right? Okay, Scorpios, oh, all right, Scorpios. All right, so you got the Tower and the Eight of Pentacles. So there could be, I'm going to take this two ways. One, there could be a major Tower moment in the collective that really makes you go, dang, I need to focus on where I'm going. Because the Eight of Coins is, you know, really taking pleasure in what you're building, focusing the discipline that it takes to focus on that, keeping your vibration high and not letting the distractions. And so honestly, it's like this idea, like, look at this tower and then like, look at like, you know, this building here. Is that idea of like nothing stopping you from what you're building. And that's pretty exciting. Okay. So whatever it is that this tower energy is, allow it to fuel your creativity is really what I'm getting. Because I don't necessarily see this as something with you personally. I think it's more of what you're witnessing in the collective is giving you a spark of inspiration. So go with that. If you are, you know, a writer, a painter, and you get this spark of inspiration, go with it, please. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, Knight of Cups. Hello. This is exciting, especially with the optimism of this, this full moon with Mercury going direct in your sign. This can be somebody who is coming in during this time that is offering you something very emotionally fulfilling, okay? So if you've had your eye on somebody, or let's say like you're the one coming in, there is this message of taking action on that, okay? That you don't want to, you also don't want to wait though for somebody to fill your cup. So remember that you're always responsible for your personal energetic cup, okay? So we don't want to just like be, like when is this person going to come and fill my cup? You should have your cup already full, and then you meet somebody who has their full cup, and then you're enjoying your full cups together, okay? But a proposal could be coming in for you around around the time of the full moon. That's very emotionally exciting and satisfying, okay? All right, Capricorns. What do Capricorns need to hear for the full moon in Gemini? Right before Capricorn season 2. Capricorns. So we have the energy I was bringing up in the beginning of secrets being revealed. All right. So you got to look for the answers inside. You Capricorns, you get this a lot related to outside influence, and there's something that your intuition's telling you, and this is where you want to you want to pay attention to it, okay? See below the surface. You know what? Let's get one more because I'm very interested what it's related to. Oh, all right. So this is related to something where it's this feeling of financial insecurity, worries, doubts, fears. This is actually fascinating. So honestly, this full moon, if there's something here where you're like, oh, this doesn't seem right, like something like with an account of yours where it's like not, I swear I had more money than that, or you know what I mean? Something like that. There's something here where you taking control of a situation, trusting your intuition, an answer is going to be illuminated when it comes to how you can be more financially secure, okay? These worries, these insecurities, this emotional crisis, whatever it is, this is a message of the light comes within, and so you need to know that it comes from you taking your power in a situation, okay? All right, Aquarius. What do Aquarius? Dang, Aquarius. That's too many. Okay. Do they need to hear all this? You know what you do because of all that Pluto. I'm going to give you all these cards. Okay, Aquarius. Five of Cups, Three of Wands, the Hangman, Eight of Cups. Like this is not shocking to me that you recognize where you're focusing your energy. It doesn't need to be focused. Walking away from it. You're recognizing, you're seeing everything happening. You're like, yeah, that's Pluto and Aquarius energy. And now you're recognizing energetically that your ships are coming in. Okay, so just make sure that you're paying attention to where you're focusing your energy, because that Neptune energy can be a little tricky. It can be a little deceiving. It can be a little delusional. So just make sure you are paying attention to your thoughts and keeping them focused on the collective good. Okay. All right. Last but not least, Pisces. What do Pisces? Okay. Now that's way too many cards. Okay, hold on. Pisces, what do you need to hear? I mean, that was exciting to see, Pisces. There was a lot related to ending of something. Oh, look at ending of something. Oh, this was exciting, Pisces. Okay, so Death and King of Cups. So this is, again, where I'm seeing a lot related to this perception of observation. Death, obviously, oh, this is very cool. Okay. This is major arcana. So like in the collective, you're seeing a lot of the, death, birth, or renewal and rebirth, if you will, with Pluto's energy shifting. And you can see, the king here with his crown, right? And then you see what's coming into power. And so there is this shift happening for Pisces collective that is very much related to this feeling of never being in power, never having power personally, right? And that you're finally stepping into this powerful role, if you will. And it's very confident. So like you see, like the waters are still a little rocky here, right? This is a major shift, okay? And so what you are focusing on, just make sure you keep that Pisces compassion, okay? And recognize with great power comes great responsibility. And this is where I mean, it's leading to the sun. And I see that, the energy here of the sun here and then with the shirt. And I'm so excited for this energy for you, Pisces. This is very empowering energy, okay? So biggest thing, everybody, surrender, let go of whatever is holding us back, because that big momentum is here. I am so very excited. Thank you for joining me. As always, shine your inner light. We've got this.